It's 2 o'clock. And I guess I would like to call the Board of Water and Sewer Commissions of Freetown to order on July 9th at 2 p.m. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Freetown Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Freetown's website, freetownma.gov. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to view the meeting will be able to view the meeting via live stream on freetownma.gov. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the meeting in real time via technological means. If we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's YouTube channel an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Now, I'm calling it to order at 2 o'clock, and the attending are
Paul Sadek,
Stephen Chandler.
Bob Parker. We don't have a third member of the commission because of a passing. Okay. Well, first item is water rate study information. Chandler, have you gotten anything from them?
Once we came back to town hall, let's see, I emailed Maria and Helen on the 29th of June. And I told them that I was here following up on the rate study. I sent them the ASR for 2018, which is what we were waiting for. And I haven't heard back from them since. Kevin just said.
Yeah, Kevin just. Yeah, I just let Kevin in.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Paul.
You
guys
owe
hear
me.
me?
Yes.
I owe you, yeah.
Kevin Harris is now attending the meeting. Okay, so we really don't have anything that we can talk about on the water rate as of now, right, Chandler?
Right. So I'm still waiting from them. I gotta find out if they're actually in the office at this point, or if they've been, they had been working at home when I was in contact with them while we were working at home, while I was working at home. So I'm gonna follow up with them and see if there's anything else that they need.
Okay.
Right. I was hoping to have something by today, but we haven't gotten that. So.
Okay. The next item is the status of meter replacements. Kevin, what are we doing there?
Status of meter replacement. Chandler, is that the hydrant meters?
Oh,
Chandler?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
We had a couple bad hydrant meters, Bob, and I've gotten a quote, and they don't have any repair kits for it. So it's going to end up, if we want to buy one and then a spare, it's going to cost us several $1,000s. So I have quotes for that, but I didn't think to go and spend all that money on my own. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I think we can get away without buying a spare. Just buy one for now that we have, and then if we get some extra money in, or once we start using it more and billing more customers, we can use some of that money for a new meter.
Are they they're $500 or $600 a piece?
Oh shit, no, they're $1,500 to $2,500 a piece.
For the
Can I
ones
re-
that are on,
Yes, sir.
The
I'm
ones
not at
on the
office, I
hydrant?
can't-
is
Yes,
that
sir.
because 2-inch ones?
Yes, these are flushing meters, not the bleeder meters, so they're going to be a bit bigger.
Well, can't we
And
use the bleed?
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
Can't we
We
use
can
the
use them.
bleed meters?
Yeah. I guess we could. It's just that's a large volume of water to be throwing through a meter that size. But I suppose we could.
How
And
much?
I'm all right with that.
What's the difference in cost?
Oh, you mean if we were going to buy? I'm guessing it's about $1,000 to $1,200 difference in cost. I shouldn't say guessing, but that's about it.
Can I remind everybody, Kevin, you got in late, but this is video. This is being videotaped for YouTube. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just make sure. Okay. Not that this only because you got to be careful what your language.
No, I appreciate you telling me that, because sometimes on these calls I forget, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. So, Paul, what do you think about? Should we spend a flushing? Now, do we use flushing meters when you flush the hydrants regularly? Right.
Right. So,
How?
go ahead.
Do we have to meter when we flush?
Well, all right, we don't have to, but we get credit from Fall River if we do. So this last time I flushed, we didn't get credit. I didn't flush a shit ton. Sorry, I know you just told me, but I didn't flush a bunch of water. It was just so that we could get some cleaner water for our testing purposes. But yes, so in the future, when we don't have the bleeders on, and I go out there in the fall and I flush, or even in the early spring when the bleeders aren't on and I'm flushing, we want to get credit for that that flushing, right? We don't want to, if Fall River is going to let us do it for nothing, I wouldn't want to pay the money for it, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
We probably ought to get a flushing meter then.
Yeah, and it's also, go ahead, Paul.
Go ahead, Kevin. You finished.
Okay, from time to time we get, whether it's a hydro seeder or a power wash company, or the other day it was as a company to flush out the sewer lines. They call me up, and right now, because our hydrant meter doesn't work, I end up just filling up their tank or seeing how many times their tank has gotten filled, and then we bill them that way. But again, we're getting money for that type of stuff. But when I go out and flush, and I'm on a hydrant and I'm flushing it for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on where it is, and I'm flushing 600 gallons a minute, you know, those CCUs add up after a while, right?
Yep.
So it would help on that. So we'll get the rebate back from Fall River on that, and it also help with reporting relative to how much water that I'm actually flushing.
All right. My question is, we're running bleeders right now. Do we still flush when we're running? We still flush?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
No.
I flush in this. Yep.
We flush in the spring and in the fall once the meters are done.
Correct.
Once the bleeders are shut off. Okay. So we have
Correct.
some time to get pricing on a flushing meter, correct?
Right, and my suggestion is that if we're going to do that, I would look at other brands rather than just staying with the master meter, because I might be able to get a better cost someplace else.
Now, the flushing meter has its own. It's a meter that's enclosed, so we know what we're pumping out of the hydrant, correct?
Exactly. Yes, Paul.
Okay. All right. And then we would record that in the normal sheet that we turn into Fall River for our bleeders, correct?
You got it.
Okay. Now, right now we don't have. When is the last time we had a working flushing meter?
the end of probably the beginning of last year. And then when I did some flushing at the end of the year, I did it with another meter that we had just to keep track. But then that meter should have not been able to, it wasn't working right. How about that? God,
Okay,
this is
so
not
this is
going to
the
work
first-
for me. Good Lord.
This is the first that I think I've heard that we needed a flushing meter, correct?
Yeah, because when I went out to go do flushing this year, well, what happened was one of our bleeders went bad. I was going to replace it with our hydrant flushing meter, and that foolish thing is not good. So I went and found another old 1.5-inch meter, and I put that on for the bleeder. So the bleeder meters are about $1,200, but we don't necessarily need one right now. But the bigger hydrant flushing meter, and it's a setup, right? It comes with a bigger ball valve, and you could put a backflow device on it so that when you're filling up certain vehicles or whatever we do, pool trucks we've done in the past, that kind of thing. We've even filled up pools in the past. If they're near a hydrant, people have called us up because it's cheaper for us to do it that way, or for them to do it that way. So it's a tool that we need that we should have, but it's not something that we're using all the time. So it's not a big emergency.
Now, I have if right now we're using do we have a spare bleeding meter, number one, and number two, I thought we had a discussion and put in our budget to make these bleeders permanent.
That's correct.
So
And I
if-
think the decision was to wait till this fiscal year, right? Because we've got them in place now, see how it worked, see what we're getting from Fall River, and then we were going to move forward, I think, at the end of the year.
right, and we have the money already set aside for that in the
That's
budget.
correct.
Okay, so at that point, will that include putting new meters on, new flushing meters?
When we estimated, I think, conservatively. What I mean, we estimated high, right? For each of these, I think we estimated something. What was the total amount, Chandler, that we have in there? Is it 70,000 for that? I can't remember off the top of my head. But in that money, that I could see that we could find a way to put 1 or 2 new meters on there. I'm not sure if we included that in the overall cost because we already had them. But I think when we did it, we estimated high just so that we could cover any unknown expenses. So we probably have the money in there to do it then, Paul.
Okay,
Not to mention that we may only have to put them in fewer spots if we can move more water, right?
that's correct.
Right now, I'm throwing it I'm throwing it down long hoses through people's yards. I'm putting it out into the road. But if I can get a bleeder or I can bleed 60 gallons a minute, that'll eliminate 3 bleeders, right?
Yep.
So, right.
I think it was around 7,000, if I remember correctly.
Did you say 70?
Huh? 7 for the equipment.
No, that's
7,000. No. This
No.
is to install permanent bleeders. This is to excavate, attach to the thing.
I'm sorry.
I want to say we estimated either $10,000 or $15,000 a piece. I think it was, but I can't remember.
Oh.
I think we did 10 apiece.
Yep, I thought we had 2, so maybe it was 50 or 55. So
Yeah,
for that kind of money, we should be able to put in, 4 or 5 bleeders, and if we need a new meter, we can get a new meter. And yeah, I think we'd be fine with that, quite honestly.
how many tests have we had so far this this bleeding season?
The bleeding season, just the one. Our next one isn't
Okay.
until the second week of August.
All right, that's what I wanted to know. All right.
Yep.
Okay, are we done with that?
I'm good.
Paul, you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next thing is distribute copies of the approved budget for 21. I think I got copies of that somewhere on the computer.
We got a copy of that came in yesterday, I think.
Kim had given me her printout of the budget, and I emailed that to you guys yesterday.
Yesterday, yes, I saw it.
Yep.
I saw it, but I haven't read it.
Okay.
Did you read it, Paul? What's your opinion? Did you read it, or?
That's it. Well, there's no opinion here. That's the budget that was approved at the town
Yeah.
meeting. Right. And did I read it? I read it, but I didn't memorize it.
And that's the budget that we had supplied to them.
Right.
It's the one you guys had voted on for approval at town meeting. So
Right.
unless there was any changes that were drastically made or cuts at town meeting, I don't know that we should have any kind of issue with it.
No, I don't
Right.
think there was any changes made to it at the town meeting.
Oh,
That I know of, there weren't.
no. So
No,
that
the only thing was the transfer. I believe it's the transfer of 50,000
yeah.
for water distribution.
Yeah, that was a transfer from our reserve funds, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that was done at the special.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was just the only thing that was added in here.
Okay, so we're good with that.
Yes.
That 50,000 at the special was for fiscal year 20 that just ended.
Yep.
Right. That's
Right.
why we did it at the special, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's inconsequential to this budget going forward.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
correct.
okay. See what you're saying.
I don't think, did I see copies of the minutes? I don't think I saw it. Did you send those, Chandler?
No, well, not recently. I mean, they're from February, so, but I didn't read them, no.
Well, I think they were fine when I read them back then.
This
What do you
corona
think?
has got us all kind of wondering what day it is, right?
I know. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hold off on that, and I can resend them if you want to take a look at them again, just to freshen your memories.
Well, I think it would be. I think it would be prudent.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I'll do that. I'll resend it. I'm sorry. I just figured you guys had looked at them already, so.
Chandler, I thought either Bob or Kevin would repeat. They memorized it and they could repeat it for us, and then we could vote on it.
I'm talking under my breath. You just can't hear it, Paul.
Okay.
I mean, I have them in front of me if you want me to read it all out loud.
No,
No.
that's fine. They're online and posted online, so.
Right, okay.
Sign the payroll and sign the bills. Do we have to come down and do that?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so.
Yeah, they have quite a few documents, from while we were out.
Okay,
The bills will need initials on every page, and then the payroll will need, I guess, the same thing Kim said. So,
If you want, I don't know, Chandler, maybe Kim would be, if they put that all in a folder, maybe we could just take it to their house so they don't have to come in if they don't want to.
if that, whatever works for you guys, whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Well,
so
Okay,
there
well,
was-
you want me to do that, guys?
All right, one at a time.
Sorry.
go ahead, the chairman.
well, either way,
Listen, you go down to
All
the
right.
town hall. You got to ring. First of all, you got to make an appointment. Then you got to ring the bell. Then you have to go
Mhm.
upstairs. You know what? My feeling, bring them to me and I'll initial them and sign them.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
do we have to have an appointment to go in?
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody does. Because they may have somebody else, like if you were to go to the accounting office, they may have somebody already there. There's one person at a time.
We have to ring the bell to get in, to go into our own office. The way I understand it.
Yes, because it's a precautionary thing, so that there's only one person in per office at a time.
So
One
if I
customer.
but if I want to go in and talk to you, Chandler, that's two people in the office.
Well, no, I mean one customer at a time.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and the customers can't come in the office. But if you
Right.
do come in the office, you have to wear masks.
Well, you have to wear masks anyway.
Get a,
I'm
yeah,
just saying, if you come in the office, you have to wear a mask. Yes.
Come into the building, you have to wear a mask.
right.
So, but Paul, if you came down here and, you know, and said, hey, I'm coming down, I wanted to talk to you about something, you could come in by yourself. You would just ring the bell and I would let you in. Just let me know ahead of time.
Or I could tap on the window.
You could do that
There you
too,
go.
because I'm right here.
A brick through the window.
Do that.
Oh.
Okay, so the payroll and the bill things we gotta do in person.
Yeah, well, either Kevin or I will bring him to you. We'll figure out a day and a time.
Okay,
All right.
yep, all right. What's the story on the curb stop at Freedman Circle?
So,
Kevin.
yeah. So I'm going to guess maybe 3 months ago, or whatever it was, we get this random email, I believe, from this woman who says that the curb stop in front of her house is sticking up a lot, and something about it settled, and not, so I went over and looked, and what it is, it's a stone brick patio or walkway that they put, and over time, it's settled around the curb stop. So it's made the curb stop stick up about a couple inches, maybe 3 inches tops. And she wanted us to go over there and do something about it. And the only way to do something about it is to rip up the stupid sidewalk, excavate down, lower the sleeve, or it's to excavate the sidewalk, bring up that depression a little bit, and then reinstall the stonework or the pavers. Now, we typically don't replace a curb stop because it's a trip hazard, and we don't typically spend money on that. We do it because I can't get on it, or it's not working, or it's broken. And so I didn't feel comfortable just deciding to go and do it. I said, I'm going to bring it to the board's attention, and when we have a meeting, and this is our next meeting since that incident, I personally, I don't know where it's our obligation to go in and take care of a trip hazard because somebody's private walkway has settled. Like if I went over there and I thought that it was a leak, and that's why in the ground was settling around because no, it's just settled over time, and it just needs to be the pavers need to be popped up and reset to grade, and they would be fine. And I know that those pavers were there when it was installed because the pavers are cut around the deal. So that's an original installation from almost 15 years ago at Freeman Circle, and it's just settled. I mean, it's no different than anybody else's sidewalk. I don't know. I'll do whatever you tell me to do, but I don't know that we want to start getting into that kind of deal. But you guys,
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you guys are the board, so you guys make a decision and I'll react to it. That's it.
Well, I think it's on private property, right?
Well, it's right. It's the tweener, right? We do own the curb stop, but the curb stop is working, right? And again, it's a settlement issue, not from what we did. We didn't install their curb stop for them. None of that. It was a contractor issue. But the curb stop's not settling. Their sidewalk is settling, right? The curb stops don't rise up out of the ground. You can see the depression around it where it's just settled, and it hasn't settled by much, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches, but this is what I wanted to know.
In her email, she says, over the years, the walkway has settled. Now the pipe cap is above the brick about 4 inches.
It's not 4 inches. I went out and took pictures, but go ahead.
I know.
I have a question. Who installed the pavers?
They did.
It would have either been the company that sold the house or they had it done afterwards, but it wasn't us. I mean,
No, is the curb stop, it's on their property, correct?
It's right. It's on the property line. It's on their frontage property line.
Right.
On the edge of the roadway layout, right? Like all the other curb stops are. And you know, I just, you know, where's the beginning and end? Things settle. And if we're going to have to go back out now and do it, quite honestly, if you're Harry homeowner, it looks like it's something that you could just pop the bricks, throw a little bit of more stone dust underneath it, put them back down with a rubber mallet, and you'd be good. But
We had-
I'm
right.
afraid that I'm afraid that if we say, well, it's easy enough, I'll go send Kevin over to do it. If they don't like the job that we've done, now I'm going back and forth. I mean, I don't.
Kevin, that's got nothing to do with us.
I
Right.
agree.
Right. It's
That's
their
my
walk.
position.
They gotta fix it.
That's my position.
I mean,
All right. So we'll reach back out to the homeowner, let them know that the board has talked about it, and they feel since it's as evidenced in your email, your sidewalk has sunk, if you will, and so
Settled
whereas
down.
it's your sidewalk, your installation, and your responsibility, you would need to raise it up to the level because we're not going to excavate that down. I mean, literally, I'd have to dig it all around that, dig up her yard. And somehow try and twist that down, and I don't even know if it's got enough play to get down flush. So
No,
it could be
It's-
a futile.
it's her paver problem. We're not gonna do anything.
Kevin, was
Aye,
that
aye, Cap.
a development in there?
It
that-
is a development. Yeah, Freeman
Right.
Circle. That's the development on
Yeah, I
South
know-
Main Street next to
I
Judy.
know where it is, but what I'm saying is that was a development. That stuff was all put in by the developer.
That's correct.
Okay, so it's not our responsibility. I mean, if they got pavers there, pull the pavers up, put some sand down, put the pavers back, make it level. It's not our problem.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll send an email out to her explaining that.
Okay, good. Chandler, what do you have for abatements?
Oh, I've got, right here, hold on one second. So we've got the regular, abatements for the fire station. You know, we don't charge
Yep.
them for water. And then I have one for a customer who we had set up an account and he was supposed to tie into water and he hasn't yet. And that's my fault. I didn't put it on hold because I thought he was an emergency and he needed to tap in right away, but something is holding him back. So that's a $3.69, thing.
How
Yeah.
much is the fire
$3.71.
department?
Fire department, this one is, $596.30.
Okay,
$598.59, I'm sorry.
I make a motion that we approve both abatements.
I second the motion. Any discussion? Is that all that we have of those two?
And then, then we have another one for the other fire station, $26.80. And then another $3.69 one for Kevin, Steve McGrath. He wasn't
Yeah.
back yet from being away.
Why don't you amend your motion, Paul?
Is that all of them, Chandler?
Yes.
Okay, I amend my motion to include all four.
I
Alright.
second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bob Parker?
Paul Sadik votes yes.
Okay. All right. Whitewater billing rates.
Oh, yeah. So they sent a notification that they were going to be increasing their rate, non-routine billing rates, and they've increased their operations service personnel to $95 from $75 an hour, and so forth. Their mechanical maintenance, is now 105. I'm not sure what it was before. Project manager rate.
Is this outside of our regular contract with them? In case we need them for other things, this is the rate that they're going to charge?
It does not say if it's outside the contract.
Well, didn't you say at the beginning it was for non-standard services?
Non-routine billing rates, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is.
So our contract is a routine billing.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
it's not,
All right,
Nothing.
so that's good.
nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Okay. How much did New Bedford go up?
They went, they increased to $4.04 per 100 cubic feet.
$4.
How much?
To you.
It was $3.94, they went up to $4.04.
394 to 404.
Correct.
They went up a dime.
Right.
So we're gonna have to make an adjustment on the rates.
Okay.
Well, I think that's what the water rate study's about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when is that going to come in?
Oh, I don't know,
Bill
Paul, but you're
Mowbray-
right.
When I get off the phone with you, I'm gonna call Maria and see if I can get a hold of her again. Try again to get a hold of her.
We can make an adjustment with or without their advice.
Well, we can, but
Yeah,
but, well, within reason. If we get their report pretty quick, then okay. But, you know, we can't wait 6 months for them to give us a report. We'll have to see when they can get us their report.
right, because you don't want to increase something and then turn around a month or two later and then increase it again. I would imagine we wouldn't want to do that, but
This is for this fiscal year 21, correct?
correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can't wait too long.
Right.
No. All right. What about environmental partners?
There's a
They have-
contract renewal, which we will bring to you with the bills.
Okay.
And sign it. It needs to be signed by you guys and the Board of Selectmen and the Chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Okay. Well, you have all them sign it, then we will.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, Paul?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Let them sign it and we'll
It's
review it.
it's just a renewal of our standard contract that we have them for engineering
Right.
services.
Right.
Okay.
So it's gonna have
Yeah, I'm
everybody,
trying-
planning board, Concom, ZBA, selectmen, everybody.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm tired of them telling me that we signed it wrong. So they can sign it first. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
What a- re-
that may-
Replacement,
that may not happen anymore, Bob.
yeah, I know, but still. Replacement of hydrant meters, we discussed
Yeah, that's
that.
the same, that was the same item as the other one, yep.
Yep. Okay. Review of the Water Sewer Commissioners, applications to replace our friend Brad and, select an applicant. And we don't have to send a letter anyway, because, Ally said we didn't.
We have to attend the meeting though.
Yeah, but we have to send a letter.
Right. Monday.
Tim sent out, you guys see Tim's most recent email?
Who?
When-
It was sent out today. There's a little hiccup in the procedure. You will not be needed to be there on Monday. Apparently, there needs to be a 1 week notice rather than the 48 hours prior to that meeting. And Attorney Rich's opinion, I guess, is in there in that email. But that was sent to you. So the question that they have for you, Bob, and Paul, I guess, to a certain degree, is when would you like to do this? They have, and in there are dates that they don't think that they're going to have a quorum. And so this may not be able to happen with the full board until, I think, August. But look at the email and respond back to Tim to let him know when you want to do it.
What are you talking about here?
Tim sent, this
Okay.
morning, Tim sent an email to Bob.
Okay. And what's it
And-
say?
It says, we wrote to town council to figure out exactly how to go about the appointment to fill the vacancy, and we learned of a new unanticipated wrinkle. The statute governing the appointment requires public notice of 1 week to act on the vacancy, not the customary 48 hours like a regular meeting would. As such, we are not able to act on this on Monday night. Tim, has checked with Lisa about scheduling another meeting later in the week, but the board may not have a quorum until the 21st of July. We understand the desire to fill the vacancy ASAP, but unfortunately the law and schedules aren't permitting this before then.
So I guess I don't understand about the 48 hours. What are you talking about, the
Normally
48
for a
hours?
meeting to post is 48 hours. So now because of law around appointments for vacancies, it's a 1 week.
It's a blanket appointment for vacancies. Is that what you're saying?
It's any vacancy.
Wow, that's interesting.
So you have to post a meeting a week beforehand. So they just got to have the agenda up and post a meeting a week beforehand and not 48 hours beforehand. And
Right.
so,
Now, does that include promotions also?
oh, I have no idea. And I don't know. You say that this for all of them. I did not read it that way, that it was for all vacancies. I don't know if it was just for, specific to water commission, sewer commission. I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't read
maybe.
Attorney Rich's. I didn't read Attorney Rich's opinion. I just read what Tim wrote and said, okay, the board's going to need to make a decision today on what they want to do. So it's either the 21st, or I thought they said something about waiting to their first meeting in August. But
They won't have anything before the 21st may not work. Right. So do you want to schedule something for the week of the 21st or the following week, or do you want to wait until August?
Well, first of all, the open period is shut now, correct?
Yeah, yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just to make the appointment.
correct.
Right.
All right. So let me see what my calendar says. Hold on.
Do you want me to read what Mark Rich wrote? Tim?
No, you sent it to us, right?
Yeah.
No, Bob, you have it. Tim sent it to you this morning.
Well,
Okay.
can somebody forward it to me?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, we don't. You said the 21st.
Yes.
Yes.
The 21st is a week from. That's good for me, Bob. 21st.
Yeah,
That's a Tuesday.
yeah,
That's a Tuesday night.
I'm okay with that.
Is that when the selectmen are meeting on Tuesdays now?
Well, that's
I'll
this.
call Tim and find out.
Yeah, Bob, respond to Tim's email and let him know what you want to do.
Yep, I will.
My
Paul,
question, though.
I just forwarded you Tim's email, which has a thread in it with should be Mark Rich underneath.
Okay, I have a question though. Are the selectmen now meeting on Tuesdays rather than Mondays?
I don't know.
No, I think that's just the date where all three will be in the same county at the same time, so they can get together and have a quorum, or at least two of them.
Well, they only need
So I
two for a
think-
quorum.
All right, and I think that's what the 21st date is, if I'm not mistaken. This is when we know that there'll be people around. So if that's the case, I guess Lisa will then try to call a meeting anytime after the 21st to get this done.
Okay.
I'll call and see what the scoop is and set it for the 21st if we can.
All right. Now, just to clarify it, so this is recorded here. We had two people that showed interest. That is it now. No one else can come forward.
Right. Correct.
Is that correct for everybody?
About that, yes.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
It ended on the 8th.
Okay.
Right.
It ended yesterday.
Yesterday, right?
Yep.
All right. Now, are the selectmen
I
So-
thought it ended on the 6th because we posted it earlier, but she said the 8th, so it's done yesterday.
Well, maybe we should find out.
I did.
Because-
I talked to her
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe it's over. Yeah.
It's over. Okay.
yesterday.
Okay. But I thought, well, never mind. It's immaterial. Are the selectmen meeting in person now? If we go to this meeting, are we going to have to go
Yes.
to the meeting? They're not using Zoom
Well-
anymore?
I know the selectmen have met in person. They met outside at the pavilion at the COA. I don't know, Bob. You're going to have to ask Tim even if they're meeting in person, they might still do it on Zoom. So if that's the case, you don't necessarily have to be there. You just
No, but the meeting Monday was going to be at the pavilion at the COA.
Okay,
Right,
we
it was
don't-
gonna be outside.
okay.
Right.
All right, so they're probably meeting outside for the time being, so we'll have to go to that.
I'll find out.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about it. Okay, anything else that we need to talk about? I think we're gonna hang on to, we just got the information from Fall River.
Right.
So, we're gonna have to go through that and look that all over. And it's probably, best that we discuss that at our next meeting.
Yeah,
we won't-
I agree with that. I mean, the one thing that we do know, and I think Chandler, if I started looking, the numbers that they plugged in are the numbers that we've given them. So, at least at the end of the day, I feel good about that, that it's not readings that we don't know or don't recognize, and it's not that. So, the first cursory look at it, that's my feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All
what
right.
I looked at it about 5 minutes before this meeting, and I kind of agree with what's been said already. The thing is, because it has to do with our agreement with Fall River, this needs to be further discussed at a meeting in the executive session.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, but so, is there anything else that has to come before us?
Well, I know I was a couple minutes late to the meeting, and I don't know if much was said about Brad, but since this is going to be on Zoom and for public consumption, I just would like to take a second or two just to express my gratitude for Brad's commitment to the Water and Sewer Commission. He's always was willing to help me, and I can tell you personally, on a personal level, I'm going to miss the man a whole bunch. So.
Yeah.
I just think that the Water and Sewer Commission, if we could probably send a letter of thanks and appreciation to Brad's family, just to let him know that we appreciate what he did for us, and just to let him know that he's missed something awful.
As you guys well know, Brad served in many capacities here for the town. I
Right.
remember at one point he was
Oh,
the
yeah.
animal control officer. Then he was
That's how
on
I met him.
Then he was on the finance committee. Then he was the
Mhm.
chairman of the finance committee. Then he was on the water commission. And you know what?
Yeah.
He served this town impeccably. And more than just serving the town, he was a friend to us, a very good friend.
Right.
And it's really, we were lucky to have him. And, you know, it's unfortunate that the day he was reelected is the day that he passed away.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart that he's gone.
Yeah,
It
well,
does. And I wasn't trying to end on a downer, but I just thought it important that people know, about Brad. That's all.
Yeah. Good job, Kevin.
Draft
All right.
up a letter, Chandler, and send it out to us to look at it, please.
Okay. You got it.
Hey,
So,
hey guys, Brad was the only guy on the commission that could keep Parker and myself in check.
Yeah. I know Kevin and I don't have that power.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, one other
Anything
thing.
else?
Yeah, one other thing. I'm glad that the town was nice enough to put up the buntings on the town hall in memory of Brad,
Yeah.
as well as what they did with our other co-worker, Karen Mello, who passed
Right.
away
Right.
at the end of last year. You know,
Yeah.
in a short period of time, we've lost a couple of good people.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah. And and oftentimes you don't know what you had until it's gone. And the good news is we knew what we had with both Brad and Karen, but still doesn't
But
make
they're missed
Yes.
for various
Yeah.
reasons, not just for work stuff, but just for all over.
On a different note, Paul, and I know it doesn't have much but a friend of yours said hi. I ran into Al Vieira the other day, and he says hi.
Al Vieira. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm glad he said hi.
All right. You need anything else from me?
I think we're all set. I'll entertain a motion.
And I know the look on your face right now, Paul, so.
I can see it. I can see it.
I'd like
Good news
to,
is
I think we should make a motion that we adjourn to the ice cream shop.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I second it. Bob Parker votes yes.
Paul Sadik votes yes.
The meeting is so adjourned on July 9th.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll be in touch through email.
All right,
Okay.
gentlemen, have a great day. Thank you.
Yes, stay out of the rain tomorrow.